Hi, today we will discuss about 5 carbon sinks that protect our planet Earth. What is carbon sink? Carbon sink are those things like forest, seas which are absorbing the carbon dioxide. These are called the carbon sinks. And now why we need these carbon sinks? Basically, nowadays we are talking about two things: global warming, greenhouse gas emission, and the third one is net zero. So, what is global warming? Global warming actually is a consequence of the greenhouse gas emission. There are 6 greenhouse gases which protects our planet, and these greenhouse gases are generated by burning of the fossil fuels, which are coal, oil, gas, bitumen, etc. etc. So this we have to reduce so that the global warming, the global atmospheric temperature is increasing in a very high rate that can be controlled within 1.5 degrees centigrade or 2 degrees centigrade maximum as per COP 26 and 27. Conference of Parties meeting. And now the temperature of Earth is increasing in a way that is endangering the human species in the Earth. Now, if the temperature increment cannot be slowed down and finally controlled within 1.5 degrees centigrade or 2 degrees centigrade max, then there will be a devastating effect. In relation to the above, there are some rays of hope. It's not that it cannot be controlled. One of the hope is that there are natural carbon sinks, which I already told you that these are available in the earth, and these are absorbing the carbon dioxide gases, which is one of the most potent greenhouse gas on the earth atmosphere, and thereby keep the atmosphere clean. So these are the things which we must ensure to protect the carbon sinks. A carbon sink is anything that absorbs the carbon and its producers. It can store the captured carbon indefinitely. It is not releasing it immediately. They can offset the climate risks to some extent. And in the era of decarbonization, we are talking about the decarbonization. Decarbonization is the only way to limit the global warming, so that your carbon emission comes down to the minimum level. And there are varieties of carbon sinks available on the earth. The natural carbon sinks absorb roughly half of the atmosphere in the CO2. The carbon sink can be found from oceans and forests, and protecting them is essential as they are going to tackle the climate and thereby reducing the climate crisis. Their destruction release the stored carbon back to the atmosphere. So this must be very much interesting phenomena. We must not destroy the carbon sinks at all. Now the first one is the oceans. The United Nations describes the ocean as not just a lungs of the planet, but also a largest carbon sink, lungs of the planet. It absorbs the carbon and keeps it there, but is a carbon sink, providing the vital buffer against the impact of the climate change. Now, as well as generating half of the world's oxygen, the ocean also absorbs 25% of all the carbon emissions. This is number one, ocean. Number two is the forest. Trees take in the carbon while doing the photosynthesis, absorb the carbon dioxide and releases the oxygen. But the amount of woodland on the earth's surfaces has declined since the start of the millennium. Actually, NASA satellite data shows the world forest absorbs approximately 15 billion tons of carbon dioxide per year. Can you imagine it? 15 billion tons of carbon dioxide is absorbed by the forest per year. You can imagine how powerful the carbon sink is. Okay. Now go to the number 3 carbon sink. It is the soil and the rock. Yes, soil and the rock is also a very good carbon sinks. Rocks too are natural carbon sink. Carbon is naturally absorbed by certain types of rocks in the process, known as carbon mineralization. Carbon mineralization. By this way, the carbon is absorbed. Now, scientists claim that our soil contains 2,500 billion tons of carbon approximately, and 3 times as much as atmosphere and 4 times as much as the planet as animals. Can you imagine this thing? This has estimated the sustainable farming methods like crop rotation could boost it the total by 1.85 billion tons each year, and this is considerable quantity. Now number 4 is fungi. Fungi is a small underground fungi absorb up to the 1/3 of our fossil fuel emission. It's a small things under the soil, and what is nature's creation? It is the nature's creation, and they absorb 1/3. The beneath our feet there is a secret world of microscopic fungi whose role is in fighting the climate crisis may have been seriously overlooked so many days. But the fungi needs protection from the modern farming methods, and it is essential that we keep fungi growing, and we must keep the fungi growing in different places as it is a carbon sink. And number 5 carbon sink is elephants. Yes, elephants. Can you imagine? Elephants are also helping a lot of decarbonization thing, playing a role in decarbonization. Scientists believe that even the largest animals play an important role in helping to fight the climate crisis by speeding up natural carbon capture. How they do it? For example, not only inhibit wildfires by eating the flammable vegetation. They eat flammable vegetation and thereby reduce the wildfire chance. But by crushing plants under their foot, they also help accelerate the process by which the carbon in the plant leaves is forced into the soil where it is much less likely to be released back into the atmosphere. So when they crush the plant into the soil, the carbon with the plant goes inside and very less likely that it is released back to the atmosphere. So elephants are also called one of the carbon sinks. So with these 5 major carbon sinks available naturally on the earth, we must nurture them and ensure that our planet Earth is not warming too much and the global warming is under control. I am Vivek Roy. I am a power and energy professional. I see you in my next videos. Till then, goodbye.